I upgraded to a luxury golf simulator studio after 4 years, but I'm still using a budget launch monitor, so it's time for a serious upgrade. I've tested nearly every launch monitor out there, from budget to high end. So here are my top 5 best value mid-range launch monitors, some pros and cons of each, and why I'm torn about which one to buy. So what makes a launch monitor mid-range and not budget or high-end? Well, the easy answer is the price, but there's a few other factors to consider too. These days, you can pick up entry-level launch monitors for around £500, and they're brilliant for mid to high handicap golfers who are looking to improve their game or play indoor golf on a simulator. But they have a larger margin for error, and occasionally they might not read some of your shots. More higher end launch monitors that are used by tour pros can cost upward of £20,000. And these units usually offer more features, they provide more data, and are considered to be much more accurate and reliable. Mid-range launch monitors offer a solid balance of reliability and accuracy, with enough data to help golfers of any ability improve their game. And this is where I'm at. I'm after a new launch monitor that is reliable, provides accurate data including club face angle and impact location, and has seamless integration with third-party golf simulator softwares like GS Pro and the Golf Club 2019. So here's my list of contenders. Now, regular viewers of this channel might think that this launch monitor would be the obvious choice for an upgrade for me. It has club data as well as ball data. It's got some amazing software, particularly to help you with your game improvement. And the price is more towards the lower end compared to other launch monitors on this list. However, it is prone to the occasional no read or misread. The club data is arguably not the most accurate, and it doesn't integrate officially with GS Pro. I am of course talking about the SkyTrak Plus launch monitor, which at the time of making this video comes in at around about £2,995 or the same price in dollars. Now, this next launch monitor really is unbelievable value for money, especially when you're talking about the amount of data that you get with it. Specifically, you get the club face angle and impact location, which are two things that I'm after. There's also absolutely no subscription fees involved with this launch monitor, and it officially supports GS Pro and the Golf Club 2019. Now, on the note of simulator golf, from my testing with this launch monitor, unfortunately the putting isn't great, and it's a bit of a faff to set up, particularly if you have to move your launch monitor each time you want to play. It takes a few minutes to set it up and get it all aligned perfectly so that you can get accurate data. Now, the launch monitor that I'm talking about is the Flightscope Mevo Plus, and more specifically, the Mevo Plus Limited Edition. Now, there is a new version of the Mevo Plus coming out for 2024, and this doesn't include all of the club data and fusion tracking and impact location, but you can buy that as an added extra. Now, the price for the limited edition and the 2024 version of the Mevo Plus is coming in at around about £3,500 and the same price in dollars. Now, this next launch monitor has really got me thinking. Slightly different from some of the other launch monitors because it is a ceiling mounted overhead launch monitor. It comes with no subscription fees. It has an amazing amount of club and ball data, specifically the club face angle and impact location that I'm after. It even has an unbelievable swing and club video capture at extreme slow motion, which is just amazing feedback for anybody to have when they're trying to improve their game. And it integrates seamlessly with GS Pro, the Golf Club 2019, and most other simulator softwares as well. Sounds perfect, right? Unfortunately, the club face data, particularly club path and the face angle as well, is not always the most accurate. It's all done on an AI algorithm that's kind of learning as you play. And I've also heard and spoke to people who have said that the carry distances are not the most accurate as well. And when they've spoken to the company that own this launch monitor, they've just said that you need to adjust the altitude that you're playing at on the settings, even though it doesn't match up to where they are in real life in the world, which is not the best, is it? Now, this launch monitor is the Protee VX, And like I said, I am extremely tempted by this launch monitor for the value that it gives you. It's coming in at just over £6,000 or around about $6,500 US. Now I'm kind of cheating with the next launch monitor on this list because it's a bit of a 2-for-1 deal. It's the same launch monitor, but at two different prices. Now, this launch monitor is renowned for its accuracy, and given the price of the launch monitor and how well it stacks up against some of the higher end launch monitors, talking thousands and thousands of pounds more, it's very, very good value for money. Now, the software as well is honestly probably the best golf simulator software that I've tried, particularly when it comes to game improvement. Now, that software unfortunately does come behind a tiered subscription, and this launch monitor, or these launch monitors, don't actually provide the right amount of club data that I'm after, because you don't get impact location and you don't get club face angle. Now, I am of course talking about the Uneekor Eye Mini LITE and the Uneekor Eye Mini. Now, these launch monitors, like I say, come in at two different price points, basically because one of them is a strictly indoor golf launch monitor, which is the Eye Mini LITE, and that comes in at around about £3,180 or $2,750. And the Uneekor Eye Mini, which is a portable launch monitor, so you can take it outdoors, that comes in at around about £5,100 or $4,500. Now, this next launch monitor is one that I have been leaning towards for quite some time now. And the main reason behind that is because it is a market leader when it comes to accuracy of data that you're getting. It's also recently announced an official integration with GS Pro, but unfortunately it doesn't come with all of the club data that I'm after. So you don't get the impact location and you don't get the club face angle with this launch monitor, which is a shame. And if you do want to get club face data, you have to put the little metallic dots on your club as well. And the other major kind of drawback with this launch monitor, I guess, is the price. It is more towards the higher end of this price bracket in terms of mid-range launch monitors. Now, I am of course talking about the Foresight GC3 launch monitor. And if you want to buy it in the UK, it's going to come in at around about £7,500 to £8,000. And if you want to buy it over in the US, then it's going to come in at around about $6,000. There is also the Bushnell Launch Pro available in the US, which is effectively the same launch monitor, but that is much cheaper, but it comes with a lot of extra subscriptions as well. Right, I'm gonna throw in another launch monitor for you, simply because I've recently tested this out at Golf Swing Systems, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was blown away with how good this launch monitor was. Now, I am cheating a bit because this launch monitor that I tested is not a mid-range launch monitor. It's definitely more towards the higher end price. However, it does have a predecessor that kind of is within the mid-range budget, okay? Now, this launch monitor that I tested, the higher end one, it was phenomenal. The amount of data that you get and how accurate that data is was just absolutely superb. It seamlessly integrates with pretty much all of the third-party golf simulator softwares that you could wish for. It's got amazing game improvement software for you to work on that's loads of fun. It's really, really helpful for you. And it also has, similar to the Protee VX, an amazing club swing capture camera in ultra slow motion that just makes seeing why your golf ball did that particular shot just so much easier, makes it so much easier to understand. Now, if there are any kind of negatives about this launch monitor, I could probably only really say the price, and it is not a portable unit, it's strictly indoors because it is a ceiling mounted launch monitor. And the only real difference between the kind of mid-range version of this launch monitor compared to the more expensive one is that the hitting area is a little bit smaller. I am of course talking about the Uneekor Eye XO2, which is the higher end launch monitor, and the Uneekor Eye XO, which is the predecessor of it, which is more of a mid-range launch monitor. Now, I've not tested the XO, okay? Let's just make that clear. But I have tested the XO2. And like I said, the only real difference is kind of the hitting area, more updated technology with inside the cameras. But honestly, this launch monitor is fantastic. And if I have the budget of £14,500, which is what the XO2 costs, I would definitely be in the market for that launch monitor. The XO, the predecessor version, that's coming in at around about £9,000 or $6,800, so a little bit cheaper over in the US. If you want to buy the XO2, like I said, in the UK, it's £14,500, and over in the US, we're talking about $11,000. Now, the reason why I'm torn and struggling to decide which launch monitor to go for is because I've always kind of lent towards getting a more luxury launch monitor, a more expensive launch monitor for a luxury golf simulator setup like I have right now. And I was looking into the GC3 for ages, the Foresight GC3, accurate, amazing launch monitor. Obviously it's more towards the higher price end of this little mid-range market. But recently, I've had a couple of lessons and I've been trying out different launch monitors like the Uneekor ones that I've been speaking about just then. And I've realized that I really need to look at specific data points, particularly club face angle and controlling my club face. And the GC3 doesn't give that option. So despite it being extremely accurate when it comes to ball data, it doesn't have the club data that I'm after. So that's led me to look at different launch monitors, and I started looking at the Protee VX, and I was really interested in getting a Protee VX. Cheaper than the GC3, the camera that you get so that you can see where you're impacting the ball on the club face is just fantastic. But then I've spoken to a few people and I've read some reviews and I've watched some videos, and it's kind of put me off a little bit because it says that the club data isn't the most accurate in the Protee VX, and the fact that somebody had to adjust the altitude on the software just so that they could get accurate carry distances, that didn't sit right with me either. So I'm kind of veering away from the Protee VX now. And then I started doing my research a bit more, and I'm confused now because at this moment in time, I'm leaning towards the Flightscope Mevo Plus, which is really strange for me because it's always been kind of a rival to the SkyTrak launch monitor, which is what I have currently. But with the added extras that you get with the limited edition, or if you don't get the limited edition and you get the 2024 version of the Mevo Plus and you buy the add-ons so that you can get impact location and all the club data that you're ever going to need, it's kind of got me thinking that this is going to be the best value launch monitor for me. So I'm really confused because I was kind of anticipating I'm going to have to spend £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 on a launch monitor here to kind of justify a lovely golf simulator setup that I've got now. But for everything that I need, the Flightscope Mevo Plus has got that, and that's only £3,000, £3,500. So like I say, I'm extremely confused right now at what to do. There's a few other factors in play when it comes to buying a launch monitor, but I've just shared with you my research and my thoughts, and I hope that this helps you out if you're in the market for a mid-range launch monitor as well. And I would love to hear your thoughts and your recommendations. So please drop me a comment down below and let me know which launch monitor you think I should go for. I think I've covered most of them in this list. If I've missed any out that are going to have everything that I want, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know which launch monitor you think I should go for to justify this amazing golf simulator studio. Like I mentioned before, if you want to save a little bit of money on any of the launch monitors that are in this list, then check out the links in the description below this video. If you would like to see a more in-depth review of one of the launch monitors that's on this list as well, then check out the video that's on the screen right now. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.